Yeah, looks like they back for a fifth season, man.
Who that?
Sports Roundtable.
Who?
SRT Crew.
Whoa.
SRT. They got that realness flowing in their DNA. Damn you lame if you ain't tuned to SRT today. HO got that payload when he say so. What you betting on? Don't get mad at me on fantasy. Break up Kyrie LeBron. I be smooth as sports superhero Hancock in the mix. Deal will roll tide forever. Real talk, you know who he gon' pick. See where I be with SRT. Behind the glass, that G Money. Made with a strong, I never lose. 6-man elite, that's J Smooth.
All you other sports radio shows is fake news. Believe that. Turn up your radios, cause it's time for SRT Radio. Yeah.
What up? It's the Sports Roundtable, and we are live from our virtual studios overlooking the digital world and the digital content. I'm your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and I got the crew in here with me as I got Coach to the right here up here tonight, and I got my main man, Asa Brown, down here to the bottom. And we
What's going on?
Yes, sir. All is well, and we got a whole lot to talk about as the NBA playoffs are here, and the play-in games have started, and once again, the Atlanta Hawks has let us down, as Trae Young may be in for a Buster or a Boy Stop Award tonight. Well, we will see. But, fellas, the Masters has started and finished, and Rory found his way to the winning circle, and we got to talk about that. But before we get started, fellas, I had not a fun bag question, but a question for you that's going to probably stump you. It is a sports trivia. Name the player who has the most fouls in NBA history.
Let's see, probably. Well, I guess you can't break up Kyrie and LeBron, so let me see. That's interesting. Who got the most fouls? Oh, wow.
Yeah, the most fouls in NBA history goes to who?
Dennis Rodman?
Nope.
No, Rob, that'd be too easy.
Listen, you're not gonna believe it when I tell you. It's crazy. I was asking my cousin. I said I ain't gonna tell you the answer till we get online.
Okay. I remember this one way back. It's the birthday boy.
Who's the birthday boy?
Kareem.
That is correct, Coach.
The birthday boy.
I know you Googled it, but yeah, that is correct.
No, they were talking about him earlier today. They were talking about him today.
Yeah, it is Kareem. Now, can you believe Kareem got more fouls in the history of basketball than anybody else?
Well, I do remember they keep on showing that one clip where he straight cocked old boy.
That's sad. Don't bring that up. That's sad. Don't bring that up.
No. I don't think he got suspended for again. I think it was a common foul. He might have got an ejection. That was it. He was back the next night.
That was a common lick.
Hey, so you knew Coach was gonna know that though, right?
See, I ain't even going there. I'm not even going. I ain't taking the bait, Coach. I ain't taking the bait. I'm not even going there.
You missing my dog,
Kareem. Right up his alley. Kareem.
His birthday today. 78 years old, baby.
Well, happy birthday, Kareem. And
yes, sir.
You were the trivia question for today. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has more fouls than anybody in the history of basketball.
He should get it cut in half though. He should like the fouls that when he was Al Cinder shouldn't count toward.
Now I was trying to figure out who had the most foul outs in the history, and I only got to the third most, so I couldn't get the first two, but I did get the most foul. But hey, it is what it is. But all right, man, that's gonna at least be the monologue for today. and we got a whole lot to talk about. We got some hot news, but we talk about has the master regained? Well, no, I'm not even gonna go there. Another coach catch the boot, and Coach Nico, he gets the boot as well as Tennessee says, Nico, we not finna give in to that. So where has NIL, and when NIL goes wrong, I guess that will be the topic for that subject there. And the WNBA draft happened, and there you go. And the and the Sky, Chicago Sky, seem like they trying to put a little something together there, Coach.
Man, please, because they got Haley. Her and Angel Reese got to hug each other first. That's the way they did her at LSU.
Yeah, that's true.
They already made up. They already talking, saying, "Hey, we got unfinished business," so they good.
Yeah,
They trying to win right now.
That doggone, I don't care what nobody say. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, but that doggone Indiana team, they stole somebody from every team. You look like, and then you stole a coach. I'm like, dog. Yeah. Okay.
You see how that's going though, Coach. You see that, right? You see how that's going. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, fellas. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some hot news. And the hot news is sponsored by our good old friend, Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Big Easy Grill is the most known for the Louisiana seafood in town, and actually the best Louisiana seafood in town. Going over to Big Easy Grill where you can get your shrimp, the shrimp po' boy, the crab claws, and the catfish bites. And it is one to be reckoned with. At Big Easy Grill is said to be Atlanta best kept secret. So make sure you get on over there and mention SRT or Sports Roundtable and get you 10% on any meals, $25 or more. How about that?
Yeah, we need that 10%.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas, we're going to start this thing off real quick with my main man.
The long journey is over. McElroy has his masterpiece.
Been holding that reaction in since 2014.
He's there to console his friend who he admired so much.
Justin's a good man.
He is incredible. Pure class.
All right, fellas, Rory wins. Coach, I'm going to go ahead and start with you since you're at the top. Did Rory make a step in bringing golf back to some type of relevancy? By winning the Masters through a playoff. How about that?
He almost had a taste of a delicious bite of choke sandwich. On the 18th when he missed that easy putt, I was like, "Oh no, Rory, come on, dog, come on now, you done got this close, and you ain't gonna pull it off." But then he redeemed himself against Justin Rose. Justin Rose was over there psyching him out. He didn't know, but somebody called Rory and told him, "Hey man, Justin over there hitting off the practice green. You better go win this thing." And he didn't win, and Justin casually got in that cart with his wife and his mom and said, "I'm coming, dog." But Rory got him. Thank goodness. If he lost that one, I'm telling you, I don't know what that would have done for Rory. That probably would have shattered him. More than likely. but he won. So congratulations to Rory McIlroy.
Did
One of-
what does it does for the golf nation, for the golf world?
another day of people watching. That's all. And he get to pick the menu. That's about it.
Okay. Hey, so what you got?
Yeah, I don't think it it doesn't move the needle. I mean, people are going to go to the Masters. It's just a good story for him to have won and finally, finish off the having all the grand slams in his pocket. Took him 20 years to get there. Chasing the ghost of the Tiger, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's good. He's a draw. So, for golf, that's good. So one of your main players, who's been in the spotlight for a long time, you can say, and it's probably good for PGA as well, because, he's one of the main guys who is against the whole live. So it's good for PGA to have, one of their own per se, to have the Masters and not somebody from live win the Masters. So all in all, it doesn't, the needle doesn't move either which way or the other. I think it's just, for those who are involved in the sport heavily, is if you're a PGA person, it's good for PGA. If you're more of a live person, then, you got that. But Masters is every day. Everybody watches the Masters, whether you like golf or not. You tune in some kind of way.
All right. So with that being said, can we honestly say that everybody watched Rory win the Masters, or did we see the highlights of him winning?
I watched, because I like golf. I watched the whole thing pretty much, and I almost forgot the basketball was on. I was like, oh no, but I was watching because it's good theater. When you got him going at it, he was down, he was up, and then he was down. He double bogeyed, then he came back and said, all right. So it's worth watching.
But Asa didn't answer. Asa must have watched the highlights.
Not correct, because I know I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched part of the first couple of days, and then and Justin Rose when I peeked in on late Saturday, Justin Rose was still leading. When I peeked in Sunday, he was still leading. So I basically assumed he was going to win it. You don't lead all 3 days and then fold toward the end, but that's what he did.
Yeah, he had a little hump in him.
Yeah, he had a little Rory in him, because what y'all talking about earlier ain't the first time Rory's choked coming down the back end of the Masters. So you like Coach saying, is this a repeat of what he's done in the past? So this time he was able to get over the hump.
All right, my next question is this, and this is gonna be big. Is there anybody that can fill Tiger Woods' shoes to take over the mantle that Tiger had?
He's probably had one of the so in our lifetime for us to watch, right? I can't talk about oh man, I can't call their names. Palmer, Arnold, or Jack, right? By the time I started kind of watching golf or whatever, I was already, they were kind of on their way out or on the senior tour. But what I can compare Tiger to is that 3 to 5 year span Michael ran. I don't think we'll ever see somebody do that again, where you win three straight championships, but not just win the chips, lead the score, all team, NBA, all defensive NBA, defensive NBA, all those things that Michael did in that 36 months run, the first one. I compare that to Tiger. I don't think we're going to see in our lifetime somebody come in, dominate. I guess people could maybe compare him to LeBron a little bit, but LeBron didn't win enough when it comes to the championships. To come in, dominate, and then to like hold all four multiple times. You know what I mean? At such a young age, and then to get put on the pedestal of can you catch? Is it Jack? He was trying to catch 18, or was it Nicholson? Either one of them. Trying to catch their or Jack Nicholson or Arnold Palmer trying to catch that 18 mark. I guess is to see it as Michael. I want to put Patrick Mahomes in there, but I guess I can't put him in there. So I guess those two, Michael Jordan in basketball, and I guess these last few years we've seen with Patrick Mahomes in NFL.
Don't leave out Gretzky now and the way he did.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about Alex too for today's hockey.
Yeah. But for PGA, it's gonna be a while for you get somebody to truly emulate what Tiger did for.
Who was supposed to be the next guy anyway? Was it?
They were talking about Rory.
Okay, yeah, Rory was supposed to be, but
they ain't talking about nobody. This last couple of years has been what, Scheffler. But golf too is still one of those sports where you don't necessarily have to have just one person dominate the way Tiger did. I think they are good with sharing the wealth amongst stars.
Mm-hmm.
I think NASCAR is a sport where you need to have a dominant driver, somebody who was hated, and for them to win. But I don't think golf is really set up that way.
All right, Coach, what you got on that? What you got on?
Well, you
Is
got
there
these
anybody
guys
that
that's
can-
on the PGA Tour trying to look like Tiger. All of them starting to get cut. Like Rory got his body in shape. DeChambeau got his body in shape, all cut. They realized that Tiger in the days of the golfing with the gut wasn't working. So they started to get in shape and get their bodies in cut. Even Phil Mickelson lost a little weight and got down, started to look a little slim and trim. So Tiger has influence to let them know, hey, you want to drive that thing, you got to get in shape, you got to hit the weights. Get your body in shape to be and do it. They already got my respect because anybody who walk 18 holes without.
I just about to say, Coach, you ever walked a course, and every course is different, hilly, and playing the 9 and turn around and gotta play that 9 again, and turn around and play that 9 again. It's that walking will catch up to you.
Yeah, you don't even get to sit down at all.
No.
And then the caddies got to carry this stuff. So that's a whole nother thing to deal with.
Oh, so happy to have him to finally win the Masters, and hey, I guess golf is on his way back. If you had tickets to the Masters, would you have gone?
Yeah. Masters is one of those things you need to check off, right? And you want to check off going to the Masters. You want to check off going to Super Bowl. You want to check off going to a World Series. You want to check off going to Daytona 500. It's one of those sports where you know what I mean? Even if you're not a fan of the sports, of that particular sport, it's still one of those things you want to say that you've been to experience.
Stanley Cup.
Yep. Sweet 16, Final Four.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the NBA. Coach Bud gets the boot. 3 coaches in 3 years for Phoenix Suns. Now the big talk is KD must be a coach killer.
He almost there, but Phoenix is a bad organization right now because they shouldn't have fired
Monte
Monte.
Yeah.
So, you chose your number one pick who was garbage, who didn't pan out. You chose him, then you fired the coach, and then you traded the number one pick off. So that's I don't have no words. You know what I mean? That's all on organization.
Yeah. So the new owner, Matt Ishma, former Michigan State guy, does he get all the blame for these coaches that he's don't let get in and let get out?
He gets the blame for these roster configurations that they putting together. I don't care if I don't care if they had a big five. If you don't have a bench, you ain't going nowhere.
Could this big three be considered one of the biggest busts in history?
I mean, I guess if you want to call them a big three to begin with.
Well, you look at, they talking about that under no circumstance they're gonna trade Bradley Beal, but they're gonna trade Kevin Durant. That's crazy. Bradley Beal has been inconsistent for many years, and Durant,
But I think Bradley. So can I say it, Coach? I don't think I think we starting to realize Kevin Durant's not an easy person to get along with.
Nope.
Okay.
No shit.
So before calling him a coach killer, I probably would call him not a confidence killer. What do you do? Nah. What do you do when everybody is on the same page and has the same thought? I want to use the word consistency, but that's not it. It's basically everybody has the same vibe in the locker room. He seems to kill that.
A vibe killer?
Yeah, you call him a vibe killer.
All right, let's do this. Let's bring my main man on, and I bet I can guarantee you he can tell her. We talk D. Will, the coach is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Got his hood
What
on.
up, crew?
What's
Hey,
going on?
I look rough, man, but I'm gonna hang with y'all for a few minutes. I had to pop on real quick. I got a second.
Yeah, so listen, we talk about Coach Bud getting fired. Now they talk about KD as a coach killer. So we on this right now. So 3 coaches in 3 years for Phoenix, and Durant has been the best player on each time. So, it's easy to say, but is he really a coach killer, or is this easy to say that because it get clicks?
Well, I'm gonna say yes and yes. Yes, he's a coach killer. Okay, for respect, but he's not a coach killer in the realm of what we put in the perspective of coach killing, right? Usually, a coach killer is somebody who just, because of their antics or whatever goes on, they consistently get coaches fired. I don't think that's what Kevin Durant does. I don't think Kevin Durant is a bad locker room guy. I don't think Kevin Durant is a bad front office guy. Like he goes to complain to front office. I think the problem with Kevin Durant is he's so damn good. If you have him on your team, you're expected to win. And when you don't, that gets you fired. So in the form of coach killing, yeah, because he's so good, you should win because you have him. But when you have him and you don't win, that in turn gets the coach fired because front office is saying, who can I get in this position while I got Kevin Durant that I can put in that seat that's going to win me some ball games? So, yeah, he's a coach killer in that sense, but I don't think Kevin Durant's a bad dude. I don't think he's a complainer. I don't think he's somebody who's a locker room wrecker. I don't think he's somebody who hangs a coach out to dry. I just think he's so damn good that you're expected to win. And when you don't, you get fired.
So I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, D. Will. That was the word I was looking for. I think he is a locker room killer, but not in the sense that you're thinking about Terrell Owens or, to your point, running the upper management. I don't think he gets along. I don't think he fits in with a lot of people. And so chemistry was the word I was looking for, H.O. earlier.
Okay.
I think he's a chemistry killer. I don't think everybody gets along with him off the court. And as much as we want to, as much as we want to say on the court is important, I think the relationships off the court are just as important. You know what I mean? To the framework of a team. I don't. To your point, I don't think he's a bad dude, but I don't think he warms up to a lot of people off the court. And so, you know, I don't hear nobody running around him NBA wise, players wise, you know, I don't want to say singing his praises, but also I don't see nobody running around protecting him.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Just from the talks of what I've heard, I ain't never met Kevin Durant. I heard Kevin Durant a cool ass dude. Everybody wants to hang with him, right? Now he is an introvert, right? So it's not like he's gonna have a bunch of friends, right? So Kevin Durant likes to sit at the house, smoke weed, and make rap music, and then go hoop. It's not much more than that to Kevin Durant. So if you're not a weed smoker, you about ain't gonna hang with him, right? If you're not a guy that likes making rap music, you about ain't gonna hang with him. If you're not a gym rat that just lives in the gym and eats shit, breathe basketball, you're not gonna hang with him, right? So I just think Kevin Durant's an introvert who does things a little differently. But from people that I've known, that I've come across, that have come across Kevin Durant, oh, they love him, right? I'm meaning basketball players, right? JaMychal Green, who played a lot of years in the NBA, played at Golden State, played in San Antonio, played in Memphis, had a long career. Kevin Durant is one of his dudes, right? And he will tell you, man, that's one of the coolest dudes, most humble dudes I've ever met, right? So that's why I say I don't think he's a coach killer. I just think you put him in the level with LeBron. LeBron has won, right? Like Draymond Green, when he was in Golden State, he didn't have an issue. They won, and he was the best player, right? It's only come up talking about Kevin Durant when he's in situations and we constantly expect him to win, and he always falls short. So who do we blame when it comes to that? That falls on the coach.
You know, and he never has once ever thought about combing his hair. Just don't comb it.
Well, I'm saying he ain't got a choice in that. Like it grow the way it grow. Like if you try to brush it, the bristles gonna break. Like so, like like I think he has combed it before. I just don't think it moves.
Oh my God.
So I hear you, D-Well, and I'm not. Again, I mean, I don't know the man personally, but I think there is something still to be said about anybody that is going to be looked at as a leader. I think there is something to be said about how you present that. You know what I mean? So you gave the examples of how he is. He's an introvert, right? Well, that don't really work when you're supposed to be the lead dog. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. And so that's why I, you know, it may come off negative, but I'm not trying to be negative. But I feel like it's hard to build chemistry around him team wise, and that's part of building a team. And so in Golden State, well, so let's do this. Oklahoma City, they all were young. Him, Westbrook, Harden, they ain't know no better. They all were young. And I think if management had did what they needed to do, those guys probably would have still stayed together 3 or 4 more years and probably would have won a chip in Oklahoma City. But when he left there and went to Golden State, we all know that was and still is Steph and
Draymond.
He's in Dallas now.
Clay.
Oh, Clay.
Now, I'm not excluding Draymond, but I feel like the two people who understood how everything should work outside of coaching was Clay and Steph or whatever. He fit right in. The system worked, all that kind of stuff. Again, I think his personality rubbed Draymond wrong. You know what I mean?
What don't rub Draymond wrong?
I know, but I mean, still, sometimes you could. I think we all know somebody personally that like, man, why don't you like him or her? and you really can't sit there and come up with a reason. It's just who they are. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how Durant comes off probably. You know what I mean? Within the locker rooms. There's nothing about him I don't like, but I don't like him. And so,
Right.
you know, the teams don't seem to get together. We're talking about these three here, Beal, Booker, and Durant should have been I mean, they wouldn't have won a chip because they had no bench, but you would figure those three without no major injuries should have got 42 games.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like
44
this.
games.
The problem with the Phoenix Suns is Durant and Booker are the same person. Neither one of them are extroverts. Both of them want to be to themselves. Neither one of them need you or need a guy in the locker room to be their friend, right? And to have those type of personalities on a team, it's not gonna work.
Nah, somebody got to be the lead dog. Somebody got to be. You know what I mean?
That's why Westbrook and Durant were successful, because Westbrook was that dog.
Yeah. So we figured out what's going on with Durant. Ho. They need to have a psychologist or whatever go to the team and kind of do a personality test before y'all decide to bring him into the locker room to make sure he gonna fit, but not in the way that people think that he won't fit. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
then, to your point, D-Will, yeah, people gonna talk to you and say, yes, we love Durant. He a cool dude. We can do X, Y, Z. But when you bring somebody in that's supposed to be leadership, he gotta have these personality traits. And if
You
he
know
don't
what the
have
issue
it,
is, though? You know what the issue is, though, Asa? When he goes to a team, he's going to be the best player. So that de facto makes him the lead dog in the locker room. And Kevin Durant don't want to be the lead dog.
yeah.
He don't want to be that. But when he steps into a locker room on 29 out of 30 teams, and that one team is the Lakers, he walks into the locker room. He is the best player on the team. I don't care if he go to Boston. I don't care if he go to OKC. Wherever he goes, he walks into the locker room as the man. The organization is saying, we're putting this all on Kevin Durant. He don't want that.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're doing as an organization, just like the Phoenix Suns did, just like the Brooklyn Nets did, you're going to fail.
So let me ask y'all this. So is Steve Kerr the only coach that has figured out how to win with Kevin Durant because he's so good?
No, they had to what D-Will, and I guess I'm saying they had all the pieces already set.
Mm-hmm. And listen, they had success. Kevin Durant has had success everywhere he's went except Phoenix. He's won everywhere, right? Let's not forget when he was in Brooklyn, your boy was a toe away
from winning that series.
Yes, and winning that series, they were about to sweep Milwaukee. Milwaukee went on to win the championship. So you just put in your brain what was going to happen that year if Kevin Durant is that close. If he wears a 12 instead of a 13, what happens for Kevin Durant's career? And ever since that play, it's been downhill, because you got to understand, he got hurt after that. He went, everything said, phew. So I'm with Asa. We're saying the same thing in a different way and coming to it from two different perspectives. But yeah, I really do believe that.
Yeah. 14 in 17 years for Kevin Durant. 2 rings with Golden State and no playoffs with Brooklyn and no playoffs with Phoenix.
Hey Joe, have you ever in life?
No, he went to the playoffs with Brooklyn now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. He should have won that series.
Yeah.
He was up 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all ever made, when I say 2 bad back-to-back decisions, 2 horrible decisions in which you were trying to do the right thing? And so what I mean by this, him leaving Oklahoma City and he wound up going to Golden State, everybody thought that was a bad decision because you don't leave the team that just beat you to join them or whatever. Okay.
I don't agree with that. I'm not one of those people.
No, I'm not either. I'm like, when you go back and look at what all was going on, the only decision that made sense for him to go to Golden State.
Period.
But He wins 2 championships back to back, and then he decides to leave. Who decides to leave when you when you could probably had a 3rd or a 4th at
Nobody was beating him. Nobody was beating him.
Well,
So
there's your comment right there, Asa. That's it right there.
Yeah, that's a fact.
yeah, I just never seen anything before in my life with a particular player.
Like, why? Like, that just like, we've known Kevin Durant's entire career. He's volatile emotionally, right? He's not very thick-skinned, right? All the way back to OKC with the burner accounts. And he had all these burner accounts, and he would go reply to people and talk to people and all these things, right? We always known he's had thin skin. But his biggest career mistake was leaving Golden State. Because he stays in Golden State, they get 4, maybe 5 championships while
And
he's there.
he outshines Steph and Clay.
Easy!
If they win 3 in a row, it's his.
Yep.
Everybody's giving it to him. They're not going to be giving it to Steph or Clay.
Because he'll have all the MVPs.
Yes, it would be his team. It would have been his dynasty. It would have been everything. Would have been his.
Yep. And listen, he would have had just as many, if not more, championships than LeBron.
Bro, yep.
But here's the issue: if that happens, Steph Curry's career isn't what Steph Curry's career is.
But I think Steph Curry's happy with that, though.
He will be. He would be. He would be. But now his ego then pushed up a little bit. If you listen to Steph Curry talk now, he's not the same person. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Like, Steph wouldn't be who he was, and KD has to understand when his career was all said and done, wasn't nobody gonna go back and say, well, he won them championships with this. Oh, he left his team to go to this.
Nah.
Only people would have said that with the Skip Baylesses and the Stephen A. Smiths. And by the time he retires and we talk about this, both of them will be dead and gone.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real, right? Like, so he left because of his thin skin, where he could have made a career and he could have been an all-time great who we would be mentioning right now in the GOAT conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So if he stays and get 5 rings,
they're getting 4 for sure. They're getting 4 for sure.
He's probably the GOAT of this era, even with LeBron in it, right?
Bro, no, you're talking about the conversation goes from LeBron, Michael, Kobe to LeBron, Michael, Kobe, Durant. Like, put him in there. You're having that argument with, Durant has 4. Oh, Kobe has 5. Jordan has 6. LeBron has 4. That's the conversation, right? Because in my opinion, he stays in Golden State. He wins another regular season MVP because he was going to turn up. He turned up in the regular season every year.
And a scoring championship.
Come on, man. The dude murdered himself by being thin-skinned.
I don't want to start then, but
oh no, that's so false. Nah, Maurice, I can't roll with that. Only people who have said that is detractors, right? Like, detractors say that. Somebody who go online looking for a reaction. Anybody who knows basketball knows that it wouldn't have been the case. Let me ask you a question. The Boston Celtics, when they won the championship in 2008, and Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett went to Boston. Does anybody ever go back and say, oh, Paul Pierce only got a championship because he had Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett? Who said that?
No, they say, I say they would have won back-to-back or a triple or 3 if Ray Allen could have made 4 more shots a game. If Ray Allen had averaged 17 a game instead of his 9, they beat the Lakers. They beat the Lakers with no problem because the one game he scored 22. They beat him by 30.
That's my point, man. Like, nobody goes back and actually looks at what happened for the championship. They just see the championship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As time passes, the conversation changes because he was up 3-1 and winning. Nobody cares about that debate 25 years later. It's an irrelevant debate. But he allowed his thin skin to do what he did.
Yeah, they announce you 4-time or 5-time or 4-time, 3-time MVP. That's how they announce you now. You know, when you get once you start getting certain things, when you get announced. You get called back to the city whenever you go on TV or whatever. It is Kevin Durant, 4-time champion, and at the bottom on TV, it tell you how many MVPs he had,
scoring titles,
scoring titles. Yeah.
Accolades. Your accolades matter, not the circumstances.
Yeah, Coach, you've been kind of quiet up there. You mean you tell me you got nothing to say about this?
Because I'm just noticing every time somebody talk about the greatest, they disrespect the birthday boy. I don't get that.
Who birthday today?
Kareem. Lou Alcindor.
Oh yeah. Nah, he's in the GOAT conversation.
We always say the man never lost in college, never lost in high school.
Asa, that's not it. Asa, that's not it. The people who watched him play during his career, dead.
Dang, Coach.
That's the problem.
Wait a minute. Wait, whoa.
They dead.
Hold on.
Whoa, wait a minute. Look here, cul-de-sac.
Hey, let's keep it real. If you were 20 in the 50s or 30 in the 40s, you dead. You're 100 years old if you were 20 years old or 30 years old in the 40s. You're 100 now. You're not alive. So those people that would be advocating for Lou Alcindor aren't around anymore.
Hold on, expired.
Hey, Joe, I told you I was trying to leave it alone.
First of all, Kareem played in the 70s and 80s.
60s in college.
That's called
Right
6-time MVP. Nobody else got 6 MVPs for the NBA. Nobody.
True. But it was 12 teams in the league then. It was 12 teams and 8 players.
No, stop that. He won during the 80s too.
It won, but what, it was 20 in the 80s? Like, let's keep it, like, I'm not discrediting them. I love the old school. But my point is, in today's debate, it's hard to have that because a lot of the people who watched him, and then we don't have them in what I call nowadays the internet syndication. You can go watch all of these people play on the internet now. Like kids that never saw Jordan play love Jordan because they can go watch Jordan clips. You can't go watch Kareem clips. And when you do, it's him shooting a hook shot. The people these days are like, hey, get out of here. We ain't watch. You feel what I'm like? That's just the reality of where we are.
That's gonna be pretty much it for me. Thank y'all. That's gonna be it. Thank y'all.
Don't go nowhere, Coach.
Don't go nowhere, Coach. Don't go nowhere.
I need to know what's in the red Solo cup. That's all I need to know. What's in the red Solo cup?
Hey, what Lil Wayne tell y'all? What's in my cup is for me. Don't worry about what's in my cup.
Okay, because it's got you spouting instead of thinking.
No, but this is true. Like, let's keep it 100. Like, nobody pre-1980, even the great Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, get the credit they deserve in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
Because nobody saw them play. That's the reason why. And the people who are creating these conversations nowadays have to cater to the audience that is listening to them. Stephen A. Smith can't go on First Take and say Kareem and Magic's the best ever. Nobody's going to listen. Now, if he go and have a conversation between Kobe, LeBron, and Michael Jordan, people's ears perk up because we actually got to see them play when it was on TV, when the NBA was the forefront of sports world. When them guys played, they was on tape delay, right? So it's a difference when we're talking about it, not saying they weren't great players, but in this conversation, they're not included because the masses that are having the conversation didn't get a
Don't
chance to
know.
see him play.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, what's the next topic, please? Next topic.
Hey, by the way, D. Will, we did have a trivia question at the beginning of the show where we talked about who had the most fouls ever in NBA history, and Coach figured it out because Coach was able to see him play. And that
Damn,
was
Coach.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the birthday boy.
And I left it alone, D. Will. I left it alone, but you stepped right on the grenade.
Hey! You know what I'm saying? I'm frontline, baby. I'm a frontline type of guy. I like to go in first.
D. Will came in and hit the tripwire.
You know, like listen, I saw Kareem play in person, right? I went to the old Omni and watched Kareem play in the 80s, right? I got to see it with my own two eyes. I saw Magic. I went to the Omni and saw Charles Barkley and Mo Cheeks and Dr. J. Like my dad took us to those games when I was younger. Don't nobody care about that no more. Like, listen, I'll be honest with you. They don't listen. I got guys hitting me up saying death to the 90s. They don't even want to see the 90s no more. So you need to tell me 60s, 70s, 80s. Wait, it's over with. Ain't nobody getting in the conversation.
I hope you run out of gas at Hoover at the mall. Oh Lord. Moving on.
All right, so we done had enough of the GOAT talk. And KD, I think we have come to a conclusion that KD is not really a coach killer the way that y'all think he is.
Nah. Not the way.
But he kills coaches.
Yeah, but he has some resume
disparities.
Disparities. Oh no, and he has been through. Now the next question gonna be who has been coached by the most coaches ever in history. Whew, that's gonna be a long.
I got a question for you, Ho. Whether you want to put it on this one now, or whatever. Where do y'all think he winds up? Do you think he stays in Phoenix, or does he wind up somewhere else?
Oh, he gone, bro.
Well, he got 2 years left on his deal, so
He gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I don't know. Does he go back to Golden State?
That would be a smart move, but that for his legacy would be the absolute worst move.
And he could have went this year. I think they said they were behind the scenes trying to see if they could trade him this year, and Golden State would have took him back. So I don't think he wants think he wants a ring then.
Bro, it's all about Draymond calling him a bitch. He don't like Draymond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's thin, like we said, he's thin-skinned, y'all. Yeah.
Well, we can tell that because I don't think he gained any more weight since college. Well, anyway, the next subject is the Tennessee Volunteers. And D. Will came right in time. The Tennessee Volunteers says, Nico, we not even acquiescing to your demands of $4 million a year. Where they do that at a college free agent trying to get now, they keep talking about NIL, but I think that these are the collectors that they are trying to get to pay him the $4 million. They keep screaming NIL, but lack of a better term, they don't know what to call it. Mm-hmm. So to your point, you've been saying this, that they're going to have to go to contracts and treat these kids like pros and put them on contract so they can be able to follow all the rules set by the organization. Now, I would say this before we get started on this. Kid just got some bad advice. He just got some bad advice. And that's all it is. He just got some
bad people in the circle.
Be careful who you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, D. Will, what say you? This is what happened when NIL goes wrong. Nico is leaving Tennessee officially today. He's in the transfer portal. Not sure if he's going to even get out of the transfer portal because his reputation is going to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
Now, I will say this. Let's rewind the clock. When you first heard the name Nico Ilimaliava, what was it about? The first time I ever heard the kid,
name.
the first time I ever heard of him was him being a junior in high school, and he would supposedly had the biggest NIL deal ever of $12 million to go to Tennessee, right? That was the whole thing. Came out that wasn't true. He got 2.4, something like that, whatever he got last year, to go. Now, let's keep it real. I always equate this because y'all know my wheelhouse is college basketball and high school basketball recruiting, right? So I'm going to tell you what messed him up. The reports that came out about the money that college basketball players are getting in quote-unquote NIL. This came out the day before his quote-unquote holdout from Tennessee, that elite players in college basketball on high major programs garner anywhere between $2.5 and $4 million. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Just like on the professional level, football money ain't basketball money. They don't make the same. However, in the college world, college football is king. Even though the NFL is king on a professional level, they still don't make the same amount of money. So whoever is in his corner was like, oh, so-and-so going to play at Arkansas in basketball, he getting $4 million. Oh, nah, we should be getting $4 million because we're the quarterback at Tennessee who just made a playoff run. But let's go look at Ili Maliaba's numbers. All of them were middle of the road. Listen, I've been doing a lot of research on the transfer portal, right? And I really have seen I figured out the criteria of what it takes for these coaches and these programs to determine what somebody's worth is on the open market. And it's about two things: your numbers, and did you make up postseason accolades, right? So I'm going to equate this to basketball, then I come back to Ili Maliaba. If you average double digits on a mid-major program and you got first, second, third honorable mention in that mid-major league, you're going to garner anywhere between $500,000 to $2 million as a go-up. That's what you're going to garner depending how good you were. If you average 9, 10, 11 points, you might get you 500 to $1 million. If you average 20 points on a mid-major level and against the high major programs that you played against during the year, if you got double digits against those teams, you're going to get even more money. So they're trying in football, and it's just like in the NFL, college football has an issue when it comes to the bread. Nobody really wants to pay it because they know you're one injury away, one snap away from not ever playing again, right? And that is trickling down to the college level. And though the money is there, they're not going to get it, bro. They're not going to get it. And somebody of Ili Maliaba's statute from his numbers last year, they don't garner him getting that much money. Even though he might be good enough and what he did for the program, getting them to the playoffs, the money he generated for the university, none of that matters. They're going to say, bro, you only threw 19 touchdowns last year. That ain't enough. That don't garner $4 million.
Yeah. Look at this, though, D. Will. Let me go back to what you were saying. How much money do you think NIL money, if they had it back then, would Kareem have made? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. But the thing about him,
20,000.
The thing about him is, just like you said, you won no SEC title. You won no national championship. You didn't finish. Did they make the playoff?
They made the playoffs, but they had him hyped as a possible Heisman finalist. So he didn't get called to New York.
Nope. There was a rumor that he wasn't even going to play in the playoffs, and he got talked into it.
See, his daddy's his problem, y'all.
Yeah,
his daddy is his agent, and his daddy is his issue. And if he doesn't step out of the way, he's going to ruin his son.
So here's what I'm going to call. There's always one, right? So you talked about it earlier as well, D. Will. And I think everybody wants to take this one case and be like, hey, this is the problem with NIL. I don't think it's that. I think he is going to be no different than Maurice Claret. And so, but Maurice Claret helped everybody learn how to go about, I don't want to say getting what you want, but understood the power. Maurice Claret showed the power of the NCAA and the programs and what he tried to do. And then they learned how to then, i.e. Northwestern, to go and start putting together the paperwork and building a formidable case against with being able to play. And then the NFL got involved with Maurice Claret because they were like, know what, we got to have an age limit because we can't have you 19-year-olds or 20-year-olds coming into the league and getting killed because it's a grown man sport and your body's not ready. I think this is what's going to happen with Nico is going to then force people to really have conversations with agents and not your parents. You know what I mean? And, you know, and or somebody that you grew up with in the neighborhood. You know, the LeBron stories are going to be far and few, but it's going to force parents or the athlete to really sit down and have a conversation with a lawyer, with an agent, with, you know, and hash this thing out. On the other side, you're going to probably see the NCAA next year, this time, really put some guardrails on what we are and what we aren't going to do as a, you know, football organization as a whole. I think he's going to wind up to be ground zero for all of this, the same way Maurice Claret was ground zero for everything that happened after that.
I tend to agree with what you're saying, and I'm gonna go a step further. I don't think the NCAA is going to put parameters on it. I think the NCAA is going to fall in line with what people are suggesting, meaning salary cap for a high major NCAA basketball team looks to be about $10 million. The salary cap for a high major P4 football program is probably sitting around somewhere like $20 million, right? So it's going to be $30 million that needs to be allocated to those two programs. But those are your revenue generating programs. That money now will start trickling down to your other programs. But to have a successful power program in college athletics on the football and basketball level, it's going to be $20 million for football, $10 million for basketball. And that's the only thing the NCAA is going to be able to do is say, hey, you can't spend more than that and you can't spend more than that, period. Because you're not coming in saying you can't spend because spending is going on. So those are the two parameters that it's looking like. And I saw this report somewhere that it's going to be $20 million for college football, $10 million for college basketball.
And I was going to bring that up to the point where that is the formula that I think. But what's going to happen with that is then you're going to have those schools, the P2s and the P3 schools trying to move up to the P4s and the P5s to try to be a part of that money so they can have the money to distribute to try to get players.
That ain't gonna happen, Big O. That ain't gonna happen, Big O. You know what's gonna happen? Those lower level, low major and mid major Division I programs are gonna be going D2. They ain't gonna have a choice. They're not gonna be able to play and continue to stay in Division I college sports because they can't compete. And when you can't compete, your revenue goes down. So why would I be running a Division I program when I'm having to spend out money and I'm not getting the same amount of money in? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave Division I so I don't have to have these issues and I can still play major college basketball or major college football. That's what's going to happen. Like I even heard a report that the SWAC and HBCU schools like the MEAC, boy, them things going to have, they're literally discussing going to Division II. Because they can no longer compete with Division I programs. And then you got to think about it. If I'm at a HBCU or a low major Division I, and I got a guy who comes in and kills it the first year.
He gone.
He's gone. So these programs are really Division I programs, but they're JUCO programs. They're having to redo their rosters every 1 to 2 years. That's a junior college program. That's a community college. So if that's the case, why would I even stay and try to compete in this? Because here's the thing, your revenue from what you get from the NCAA won't change. Because if you go D2, you don't have to spend out any money. You're not getting as much, but you're not spending out any. So it makes a lot of sense for those programs to drop the divisions.
And we ain't even got to outside. You don't know what these administrations politically going to do as far as putting the restraints on funding and things of that nature. So you got to think about that piece as well.
You do, because Cheeto is in office. That's why the conversation is even being had. Because before, when Biden was in office, the NCAA lost every single court case there was to win or lose. They lost every one of them. With Cheeto in there, be on the lookout for those policies to be looking to change.
What about and I'm just strictly talking about football. What about football conferences like the AAC in football probably being demolished and swooped up by a bigger conference because the whole conference can't compete and they don't have anywhere else to go other than the Big 12, the Big 10, or maybe the ACC?
Do they generate revenue? Do those programs garner revenue that garners them going to a P4 conference? It doesn't make sense for the Big 12 to add somebody who don't make money.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll get you'll get one or two schools in those areas, i.e. SMU went to the ACC and won immediately. You'll get a school, that way that, but it won't be
maybe Cincinnati goes to the ACC
or something like that, or they wind up in the Big 12 now, so the Big 12 goes from coast to coast, but one or two schools, but not a whole lot.
Not a whole conference, I agree. But then that's going to probably create a just 4 major conferences and call it a just super conference, and that's going to generate more money. So it's going to demolish all the small schools anyway. So their whole program may just get demolished from that, depending on the basketball team or some of the other sports to try to continue to generate revenue and funds for the school.
And you got to be careful with this also for those minimal revenue earning programs, right? They're Division I, but they don't earn a lot of money. They seat 5,000 people in their basketball arena. They seat 40,000 people in their football arena. They're not making the money of those other programs. So they're going to go to the Big 12, ACC, and they're going to get swallowed up. Yeah, they're going to get the little crumbs that's brushed off the table from the conference, but that's not going to be enough money to sustain them to compete within that conference, right? So what sense does it make for the Big 12 or ACC or the SEC to even bring those schools in? Because they're going to be paying out more money than those schools are going to be garnering for the conference. They're never going to win, so they're never going to bring in extra money. So we're bringing in an extra school just so we can split the pie even more. You're going to have the Alabamas, LSU's like, hey, we don't want them in the SEC. We got to split more money when they come because they don't bring anything to the table. That's why I say you're going to see a lot of these schools dropping down a division to Division II, and Division II sports, FCS sports, is about to be really, really good.
Yep, I agree.
Well, we need to create a station.
We do
for Division II.
We do. And listen, FCS Journal, baby.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, because it's trying to go down for sure. If they come up with that salary cap in college, it's gonna be who's who. And now, Nico is going to be the poster boy for a college player trying to be a free agent while in college.
He held out, bro. He held out.
Yeah, he held out. I mean, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
For a college kid to hold out because of money he's not getting, just because he had bad advice.
Now, I'm going to tell you like this. Here's another issue that we got to take into consideration. Because I literally, before I came on, the reason I was late coming on, I was having a conversation. Got a kid going out to Missouri State next week, and we're in conversations about what his NIL is going to be, right? a program that's on a lower level, say they have a budget of it's what 85 scholarships in college and football, and it's 13 in basketball. For 85 scholarship roster, everybody has to get paid. Now you can have your pay scale on how you pay those guys, but everybody has to get paid. If you got 85 and 13 on a basketball scholarship, it's going to be tough for a program that generates $2 million on a year, right, for their athletic program to shell out $30 million. It's not going to happen to be able to compete. So what's going to happen? We're going to shell out $1 million for our program. Okay, we'll shell out we got 1.3 in our collective. That means we're going to pay everybody $100,000 that comes to play basketball here. Bro, you know how much talent you're getting for $100,000? Not much at all. So you're not gonna win. So now we're gonna be looking for the conference to say, hey man, we can't compete. Vanderbilt, hey man, we can't compete. We need y'all to kick some funds down here so we can compete. The SEC gonna be like, nah, bro, what? Alabama gonna be like, I'm not sending them no more money. We made it to the playoff, not them. I'm not sending them no more money so they can beat us next year. Hell, Vanderbilt beat us last year. I'm not sending them no money to beat us. It's not gonna happen. So I'm telling you, these conferences are about to change, and it's going to happen due to the fact of we have nothing else to do. We got to get rid of you. We don't want to, but we got to.
You know who the smartest people in the room right now? Notre Dame.
Ooh, they look beautiful, don't they?
Yeah.
As much as we talk ish about them, they are sitting in the catberry seat.
Yeah. For sure. All right, WNBA draft. Paige Beckers goes first, and it was a lot of trades going on with a lot of this and that, and hey, Paige Beckers could be a impactful player in the WNBA next year.
She could.
They could. She will be.
She gonna be MVP if she stay healthy. Watch what I tell you. She will be the MVP of the WNBA next year if she stays healthy.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be no CC if Paige Beckers didn't get hurt her freshman year.
Come on, man.
It wouldn't be.
Come on, bro. Listen, when they came out of high school, that high school class was stacked. That 2020 high school, Paige Beckers was number 1. Angel Reese was number 2.
They all won championships.
Yeah, I forget who 3 was. 4 was
Madola. She went to USC.
Bingo.
The big girl.
Big girl. She was 3. Caitlin Clark was 4. Haley Van Lith was 5. Everybody got ships except CC. Right?
Yep.
So my point is, like, if Paige don't get hurt, Paige probably win 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. She probably blocked people from getting one. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm here to tell you, Paige Beckers in the next year, and especially the year after, if she stays healthy, will be the best player in the W, hands down.
Yep. Because the professional coach not gonna let her loose. Ain't not gonna hold the strings on her. Gonna let her play. Let her run.
She dropped 40 in the tournament, bro.
Yeah.
She dropped the 40 ball. Like, she's so doggone good, bro. Like, it is like it is. She is the special one. Like, I'm not gonna say. I kind of agree, but I ain't gonna say it. Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark, right? She probably was gonna be who she was gonna be because she's that good, because she can hoop, right? But from a popularity standpoint, if Paige Beckers don't get hurt, Caitlin Clark does not ascend to where she is today.
Nope.
I agree. We
popularity wise.
Yeah. Hey, and then shoot, we gonna miss a year of Juju, but when she come back, it's gonna be the Paige and Juju show.
Period.
In the WNBA.
Period. And listen, I'm gonna give you one more. Hannah Hidalgo. Hannah Hidalgo is going to be a dog, but I'm going to tell you where she's going to struggle. Size. Right? She's going to struggle with size because size sells. Y'all see where I'm going? It sells. She's not going to be as marketable because she's so tiny. Asia Wilson is so damn marketable because she can get 20 points and she's 6'4". Angel Reese is so marketable because she can get you 20 rebounds and she's 6'4". Paige Beckers is 6 feet 6'1". Like Caitlin Clark is 6'2". Like these are females that have a presence. Hit a dog on like 5'8", 5'9". It's gonna be tough for people to give her that respect because she's so small. But she good. Olivia Miles too. And I hate that whatever that rift they had going on between them that caused Olivia Miles to transfer to TCU. But I hate that dynamic broke up.
Yeah, me too. So talk to me about the girl from France who's everybody talking about.
Just about to say, it's the WNBA reminded you of the NBA, huh? HO, like all these foreign players,
right?
Dominique somebody.
Malagona, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't say Malagna. Now I'm gonna tell you, she's an internet sensation, right? She went viral by one of her workouts when she was like 16, and she was doing the workout and she was dunking everything. Right? Dunking everything. Spin move dunk, post up, head fake, step through dunk, 2-hand, 1-hand. Like she was dunking everything. So she's been the Victor Wembanyama over the last couple of years for the WNBA. However, the WNBA doesn't get that much recognition. So they hadn't upped her like a Wembanyama, even though she's from France. She's been compared to Wembanyama, right? I'm just curious to see her do it at the highest level. Is she going to be able to be that competitive when she run up against a Brittany Griner, who's 6'9"? You ain't dunking over Brittany Griner, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see her play against the top competition. We said the same thing about Wemby, and we saw how good he was. So she could be just that. However, I'm going to have to see it first.
Yeah, and she's 6'6", by the way.
That's a big girl.
Yeah, she a big girl. Coach, you been quiet. I know this your lane, Coach. Talk to me about the WNBA girls. You're on mute.
She's not Kareem's daughter, but she's gonna be good though.
Okay.
I mean, you look at raw ability from a kid. She's a kid now. She's just 19. Raw ability coming into the league against a league of grown women. Show improved first year. Then let's see what happens as it goes on. She has the possibility to be great, but a lot of them girls gonna be smiling like, all right, come on.
Barbecue chicken. And Coach just made a really good point. We always say the NBA was a grown man's league, but it's not anymore because everybody come in 18, 19 years old. The WNBA is a grown woman's league.
Yeah, 4 years.
They don't come in there until 22, 23, 24 years old, right? This is a 19-year-old having to come in there. So she's going to have struggles starting off because it's not any young girls walking around the WNBA. Those are grown women. Like Paige Beckers is 23.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she ain't coming in as a little girl. She's coming in as a grown-up. So she's going to have her lump starting off.
I just like it for the WNBA. These last 2 seasons, and then this next class coming out, they're gonna be set for a few years. So, it's upon the WNBA not to fumble when you have 3-4 years of great draft classes coming in and known names too. So
right.
It's one thing to have great classes coming in if you're not knowing, but we know the CCs, the Jujus, the Page, some of the foreign players, we know who they are. So you got to capitalize now on marketing, making sure your games are, some of them are prime time, And so it'll be interesting to see what they
Asa,
do.
you know what they got to do, Asa? They got to pay them girls.
Yeah.
If they give them the bread, the product will be better, right? Like, there's no way Paige Becker's first year salary should be $78,000.
Yeah.
Stop it.
She could stay at UConn and make 120.
Why do you think Flage ain't come out? Flage would have been a top 10 pick, and she would have made between $78,000 and $68,000. Flage gonna make $4 million at LSU next year. That's why she didn't come. Everybody like, I can't believe Flage came. Why? Listen, the same thing for Hannah Hidalgo. Same thing for Olivia Miles. Like, why would I leave college when I'm making all this money and I'm finna go there and y'all ain't gonna pay me nothing? They have to pay these women, because my point is, bro, if you pay them, we all know they upped them. They upped their TV deal to like 2.something billion, 2.3 billion, whatever it was, right? Which is great, right? That is great. That's not enough money, because if you put that product on TV, if you put Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, or Paige Beckers versus Caitlin Clark, or some of those Leah Boston versus Angel Reese. Bro, I'm tuning in and I don't even watch chick ball, but I'm going to watch, right? So my thing is, if you push the product to where it's supposed to be pushed, it will generate the revenue. But when you generate the revenue, pay them girls, man. There ain't no way them girls should be making more in a 3-on-3 league than they are in the WNBA. That's ridiculous.
You know what it's gonna take, and I'm just throwing this out here. Maybe I should take this idea, and we need to form a network ourselves, and then they can get paid. But it's gonna take somebody like a Netflix or Amazon Prime to put a whole lot of money and partner with the WNBA to get a share of their revenue and to put money in their pocket.
Listen, if Netflix, because we know Netflix is about to buy the NFL, right? They're about to get the NFL deal. If Netflix was to get the WNBA deal, bro, they going up.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could consistently watch the game somewhere. And then you will have a marketing tool behind you to push all of these big name players that you have right now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't drop the ball on these big name players that you have right now. You can't do it. And unless they do a major like streaming deal, they're gonna drop the ball.
Yeah.
But you know what else they'll do? Netflix or one of those streaming services will get a deal with a Comcast or AT&T to be on regular cable.
Exactly. That's the whole game.
And that,
you bring a third-party trade. Yeah. you need a third person in this trade to make it happen.
Yeah, and that'll do it right there. So,
and they deserve it. They deserve it. Let's keep it real. I'm not an advocate of chick ball, but just knowing what they go, man, they deserve it, bro. Because the product on the court has gotten much better.
And like I said, I'm an advocate for it, because it's hard to have, like I said, these last 2 years and the next 2 years probably going to be the best class that they've ever had since maybe when they started the league with Weatherspoon and all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is a once in a generation time frame when you have this much talent coming in at the same time, and that this talent will be around for at least 10 to 15 years. So you got to take advantage of it right now. And you got young girls watching, you got older guys watching. And the NBA is slipping. So, I'm not saying the NBA is falling off, but the NBA is not as strong.
It's not
as it once was. So it's easy. It's easier now in this time frame to get eyeballs on the WNBA. So
it's a better brand of basketball, bro. Women play a better brand of basketball than men.
They can't fumble the ball. They can't fumble this one. They can't.
Hey, but I'm gonna put y'all on somebody. Can I put y'all on somebody that I love that y'all gotta watch? And that is Sarah Ashley Barker.
From Alabama, I already know.
Hey, but I've watched her since she was in high school. She the real deal, bro. right? She is the absolute real deal. And for her to go to Los Angeles and be on a team with a Cameron Brink, see, and people keep forgetting about that name because she tore her ACL last year in her rookie season. Cameron Brink is a dog.
Yeah.
Like, she's a real ball player. So to put a Sarah Ashley Barker next to a Cameron Brink is going to be, and they both of them easy on the eyes, right?
Oh, that's the other thing too. You mentioned size. I was going to say 8 out of the 10 young ladies you mentioned, they all easy on the eyes.
Oh yeah.
So
Anissa Monroe,
you good on the court, but if I can also market to you, I can market you for commercials or whatever.
Yep.
Call it what you want to say it, but beauty sells, right? So, you know, I'm going to have you selling whatever it is I need to have you selling. So
I'm watching LA to see Sarah Ashley Barker and Cameron Brink for sure. Hey, listen, I'm tuning in to the Connecticut Sun to see Anissa Monroe. Hell yeah.
Y'all said beauty sales. Why has nobody picked up Trinity Carter?
Who is she? She fine?
See, look at that.
You know,
she can't be that fine.
Coach had a thing for Lala a couple of months ago, so we gotta pipe that down because Coach get excited.
Hey, but one more thing. Did y'all see how good Haley Van Lith was looking at the draft, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Haley Van Lifton turned that. Now I know she's spoken for, right? So we can't lust over her because she already snatched up, and he a smart man to do it, and they've been together for a while. But your boy for the Orlando Magic, the point guard for the Magic, what's his name?
Anthony.
Nah, the other one. The football, the dual star athlete when he came out of college, could have played football or basketball. So Scruggs. Jalen Scruggs. That's her guy.
Went to Gonzaga.
Yeah, went to Gonzaga. That's her man. Smart man. I feel you, Jalen Suggs. Right on point.
We got a question in the chat real quick. Hold on.
Which we okay? We talk about Papo?
No, the one went to Florida State.
The transfer.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. In today's game, that's normal. Okay, like that is I'm gonna equate her to Alabama. Mbakwe, what's the name from Alabama, number 10? He just transferred to Kentucky, right? Like, there's no rhyme or reason behind why these athletes transfer. And I think the last time I was on the show, I might have said this. It's 3 reasons people transfer: a bigger bag, the coach tells you they don't want you no more, or you're looking,
playing time.
Bingo. Right? It's MPG, it's the bag, or they don't want you no more. Right? Those are the 3 reasons you transfer. And nowadays, that has no rhyme or reason. You could have played 30 minutes a game, but I want to leave. Right? So I don't think it's anything to say about South Carolina's program. I don't think it's anything to say about Don Staley. Yeah. I just think South Carolina was unwilling to match whatever number she was asking for.
And South Carolina can reload. You think they ain't knocking down Don Staley's door to get there?
Hey, listen, Full Wiley. From
Florida State, right?
Yeah,
no.
Full Wiley. Nah, Full Wiley ain't Florida State. Full Wiley had announced, but she's not. Yeah, she hadn't announced yet.
Oh, okay.
You say no, the high school
Carolina.
player. I don't know the high school player, whoever that is. Coach, you may know.
Who was that?
The high school player did she sign with South Carolina?
No, the number 1 high school player in the nation signed with Oklahoma.
No, there was another one, I guess, said he signed with Not the number one player, but the leading scorer in the
Number one
nation
scorer in the nation.
from high school.
Not familiar.
Yeah, we ain't familiar.
I thought
We'll
that was a
get back.
girl.
I thought we were talking about Fort Wiley.
Who was the young lady that's transferring from Florida State that's going to South Carolina?
Oh,
Last
that's
week, that's what
this
we talking
girl
about.
went to Westlake.
Mm-hmm.
She went to Westlake
Okay.
with Raven Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
South Carolina ain't losing. If you got your program set like Don Stilly has now, she not losing nobody. She got eight other young ladies trying to beat down the door to come to her. So
Hey, listen, Fort Wiley is a fool for leaving. Straight like that.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
that makes absolutely no sense. And I had to check myself in what I'm about to say with the kids I deal with, right? That are on the college level now. A lot of times you just got to wait your turn, right? Fort Wiley came in as this generational player. Dawn Staley was on record saying she is a once in a generation type player, right? She's a program. She said all this stuff. Fort Wiley never started in her 2 years at South Carolina. She never started, right? That's the reason she's leaving. But here's the thing. You're leaving when it's your turn. You get what I'm saying? It's your turn now, and now you're leaving. So I had to check myself with that. And I'm going to be fully transparent. That's why Greed Williams is going back to UNCW, right? We could have jumped in the portal and went up and went wherever we want and went after another. No, bro. No. Like, it's
Uh-oh, the mannequin challenge, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he froze to death. All right, so
yeah,
D. Will is on the mannequin challenge.
yes, he dead froze.
yeah. The UNCW is all we got to.
Yes. But I'm pretty sure his phone probably went dead. He probably go change phones or something. But with that being said, fellas, we got to get into our baller, busters, and bust stop. No,
Right.
this time I got SRT Fun Bag down there going, and we weren't even on that.
He's been rolling all day.
I know that was my bad. All right, here we go. Baller, busters, and bust stop. All right, so my baller this week. My baller this week goes out to Austin Riley. Finally, the Braves are getting some hitting. And they lost today with Strider on the mound, but Austin Riley hasn't disappointed this year. He got 5 home runs already, so he's on his way to a 40 home run year, hopefully. But Austin Riley will be my baller this week, just because we need him to be Austin Riley. Coach, who you got?
I'm gonna have to go. You know, it's just recent. I'm gonna have to go with as a tie, Steph Curry and Jimmy Buckets. They went off last night. You know, they barely won, but they went off. So you got them two. They're gonna be dangerous to get into the playoffs.
What they went 37 and 27, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Was it is it playoff Jimmy?
Yep.
Playoff Jimmy got activated.
He getting warmed up. He getting warmed up. He got he revving it up.
Exactly. All right, Asa, who you got?
I'm gonna say we just talked about it the whole segment. WNBA. I'm gonna go with Paige Beckers being the number 1 overall draft pick. That's my baller for the week.
Yeah, great job, Paige, man. She the one. Yep, she's the one. Paige be doing it. All right, anybody listening, put your ballers and busters in the chat, and let's go. All right, my buster this week, it got to be Trae Young. Matter of fact, I was trying to pull up the highlight. Let me see if I can pull that up.
He throwing hot rocks to the ref.
Trae tripping, ain't he? Yep, I found it. All right, hold on, fellas. I got you. All right, Coach, go ahead. Who your buster?
Easy. This one's too easy. Isaiah Bond from Texas. You got to be one of the dumbest people walking, Isaiah. If all this is true, and you forced yourself on a girl who told you no, and you are about to go to the pro to the draft, and you forcing yourself on a girl, then you try to throw $1,000 at her. $1,000? Are you absolutely out of your mind? $1,000, dude. Come on, man. You got to be the dumbest person walking. I ain't saying player, forget player, because you might not get drafted. Hope you can prove it's not true, but the way this sounded, you look bad, dog.
All right, here we go. Hold on, Ace.
You good?
And Corey Joseph are on the bench, and the biggest cheerleaders over there are Joseph and Caldwell Pope.
Those are veteran guys who just want to win as Anthony Black comes up with a huge block. But those two vets just want to win, and they know these two guys are getting it done. They now have 40 points between them. Wow. And that's their 7th combined 3.
Oh, Young goes between Carter's legs and scores it. Wendell Carter knows he's going to be on a highlight, and that's a tee. There, Cole Anthony, what a performance. And now a second technical, and Trae Young snatches the ball from Pat Frail. That's going to cost him some money there. He ball faked him, shot faked him, and Young's been ejected.
Not good. Not good at all. Yeah, not good. He should have acted like that when he make the All-Star team. But not in the playoffs. When they play Friday, he gonna be a little lighter in the pocket by Friday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
better get together, or he won't be light because he won't get no playoff money if they don't mess around. And I feel like Chicago is probably going to beat Miami, and then they'll have the home game here. But you can mess around. So one game take all. You don't got your head on right. You be home. Period.
Yeah, and they got to face Cleveland if they win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it won't be long. They might as well go ahead and pack their bags Friday. All right, Ace, so who you got for your bust?
Oh man, I gotta go out west to Colorado. How you gonna retire? I get Travis Hunter's number being retired because he won the Heisman, didn't he? But I'm trying to figure out how you retired Shador's number.
Okay.
I'm just so I don't know if I need to. I can't blame Shador. He getting his number retired. So I gotta blame Dion. It got to be his suggestion. What you shaking your head for, Coach?
Coach shaking his head.
Cordell Stewart, Eric Bieniemy. I mean,
oh yeah, but those guys. When you think of those guys, you think of Colorado. I mean, Shador was there for not even a whole year.
Ridiculous.
I think of Shador. I think of Jackson State, to be honest with you. Like I said, I get maybe Travis Hunter's number being retired because, again, he did win a Heisman, right? So, okay, I get that. At the end of the day, what did Shador win? And he was only there for a year.
2 years.
Publicity.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, my bad. You're right. Two years. But still, he didn't win nothing of any significance to get your number retired.
Nope.
Miami Heat winning 60-37 the second quarter.
Ooh.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
I would have lost money on that one.
All right, Buster, boy stop this week goes out to Atlanta Braves. They still have not figured out or what is that? They picked up Dela Cruz. He based on his numbers, he the worst player in the league. Based on his WAR, he has a minus 43 WAR number. Based on that, he's the worst player in baseball. And why is he? Why do we sign him again? For depth? Listen, you sign Verdugo. Why isn't he playing? I don't understand this. Yeah, I don't understand that. So Atlanta Braves, you and my boy, stop. Get it together, AA. All right, Coach, what you got?
Travis Hunter. Travis, stop telling people that you're gonna quit if you don't play both ways. Stop that. Dude, you ain't been drafted yet.
And this ain't
on the field first.
This a different league too. You thought that boy from Colorado State Rams hit you dirty. you about to feel that.
I mean, think before you speak, son. Think before you speak.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. That's my boy stop too. Like, what are you? Listen, if you get, because what, he's looking to get drafted number 3 by New England. So I mean, shoot, be honest with you, you might want to make sure that could also tell me something. It could either tell me he's that much confidence about his talent, which is nothing wrong with that. I understand that, but it also could tell me he's afraid about playing that DB position at the next level.
Yeah, could be.
So, and he's looking for, he's trying to build his case to be like, well, if I get burnt a few times at the DB, you can still plug me in at wide receiver. You know what I mean? I'm hoping it's more of his confidence talking, but I'm with you, Coach. At this level, you got to pick a side.
Yeah. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and jump into our roundtable discussion, man, and go ahead and talk a little NBA basketball as Chicago is continuing to thump Miami.
Chicago beat Miami, or Miami beating Chicago?
Miami beat Chicago. I'm sorry.
Okay.
71. Yeah, Miami is beating Chicago, so Miami will be playing in Atlanta Friday night. Or do Atlanta got to go to Miami?
No, they come here. They come. Whoever wins this 9-10 comes to Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, last night Jimmy Butler goes for 38 points, and the Golden State Warriors they edged out the game against Memphis. And Coach, we ain't gonna say anything about Zach Edey, so we're gonna leave that alone. But Desmond Bain went for 30 himself.
Wait, whoa. What do you mean? Edey had 14.17 rebounds.
Yeah, he did.
Mention my dog.
I was gonna let you mention that. That's why I said I wasn't gonna mention anything about Edey. I was gonna let you mention the way that he played and all of the numbers because I knew you knew.
The way that young lady say in that movie, make it enough. He ain't make it enough though.
Yeah.
Asa, look at you. I don't know what I remind you every time. You gonna be sitting there doing DNA sports talk, and all of a sudden,
there it is, my man. So Golden State moves on to play the Houston Rockets, and actually, Golden State is favored in this round. What do y'all think about that?
Man, so I get being young and have to quote unquote earn your stripes through the playoffs. But it's something to be said though about, and the same can be said about Oklahoma City too, the Thunder. It's something to be said when you have had the seasons that you've had in a dominant fashion. And I don't recall Houston at no point this season going on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. You know what I mean? So they played consistent ball all season, and they have one of the better coaches. So I think they're capable of bucking the trend as far as being a young team and having to learn your earn your stripes as far as, you know, going deep into the NBA playoffs. So I get it. They got Vegas is kind of betting against the Rockets, but I think they're just doing it mainly because of their years and not so much if they got the talent or not. I think they're doing the same thing with Oklahoma City as well. They're they're giving the Lakers a better chance of making the finals than Oklahoma City, but they seem to be putting a lot of that emphasis on, well, Oklahoma City is a young team or Houston Rockets is a young team. I'm not going to buy into that this year, and I probably won't buy into it going forward because the league overall is young. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
if you got 50, 60 wins under your belt, I don't care how young you are, you good.
So you got a championship team in Golden State, championship pedigree, versus a Houston who's young, who hadn't won the playoff series yet.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna hang my hat on Udoka being able to coach those guys up and being able to come up with a game plan to stop. He's going to stop one of them. I feel like whoever he chooses to stop, he'll stop, and I don't think the other person is going to have enough to carry them. So if he decides to stop Curry, which I believe is what he's going to try to do, I don't think Jimmy's going to have enough to carry Golden State. Or if he decides to take Jimmy out of the picture, I don't think Steph is going to have enough to carry Golden State. So now, will it be a long series? I think it'll go 6 or 7, but I think Houston will win.
Okay. Coach, what's your thoughts on the Golden State Houston matchup, the championship pedigree against the young guns?
If
Golden State is favored
jumps
right
out,
now.
if Golden State jumps out and takes the lead in the series, Houston in trouble. Houston got to jump out those first couple games and try to get at least one win.
Then Coach, I think then Houston got to go up 2-0. If that's the case, they can't split a game.
True, I agree. They got to play with some fire. I mean, youth aside, you gotta come out there and say, hey, we here. We there's a reason we here, and you got to jump on Golden State early. Steph is dealing with that thumb. That may be a factor too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, he ain't let it bother him too much last night, though.
No, the way somebody hit him on that thumb last night. He kind of went to the sideline, was holding it. So you gotta take a chance to get a hack in there, and try to do something.
Well, they got like I said, they got the right. I think Houston has granted they're youthful, right? But I think they got the right head coach. And you go back a couple of weeks ago when Houston kind of played Golden State, they played them real physical and they roughed them up a little bit. They, were roughing up Steph a little bit. I think that was just to send a message to be like, this is how we're going to play you if we see you in the playoffs. Or I think they were sending a message to everybody in the West. This is how we're going to play y'all in the playoffs. We're going to play a physical brand of basketball because I had the depth as well. Houston just didn't go 5 deep. Houston goes about 8 deep. So we ain't worrying about foul trouble.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the Lakers and Minnesota. I think, Asa, you had already talked about how they favored the Lakers to beat Minnesota and move all the way to the finals, right?
Yeah, right now they got the Lakers definitely getting to the conference finals, and the way all this is playing out, I hate to agree with them, but I kind of agree.
You think they roll through Minnesota like that, or is it gonna be tough?
They beat them 4-2. Randall got to have a big series. He got to take advantage of his. He has the advantage at his position. He's got to take advantage of it. But I don't think they got enough firepower. With Luka, LeBron, and then Austin Reeves playing free, and he got no stress on him. So I don't think Minnesota has enough firepower to keep up with the Lakers in this series. You're already playing 4-on-5 because Gobert don't score.
Luka go try to show out, huh?
I think Austin Reeves, the guy, is going to show out. I think LeBron going to pick his spots and kind of rest this series. I think it's going to be the Luka Austin Reeves show.
All right, hold on. I got something in the chat. If the Warriors win the whole thing, what are they gonna say about Draymond? I think he's referring to when Draymond was on the All-Star weekend. They said that they was gonna win it all.
Hey, listen, if the Warriors if they let Steph get one more, we're not having it. With the conversation shifts quickly from LeBron's generation to Steph's generation, like overnight. And so, that 2018 was it 2018? No, 2021 that Steph won without KD. So now he has 4. They get another one with this roster. We're not talking about this being LeBron's era. It truly becomes Steph's era. I don't care if LeBron made 10 finals. I got Steph now with 5 rings.
That'll be a for sure Steph era.
Yeah,
another one, especially with the team that he got.
As I was saying, with this team, no Clay, no KD. I dare most people to name me who the third person is on after you get past him, Jimmy and Draymond. Name me the third guy.
Supposed to be Kuminga.
I was saying, but name Gary Jr., Peyton Jr. third. Did he come back?
Yeah, and then you got Moody shooting.
Yeah, if they somehow win this year, we got to start looking at Steve Kerr totally different too.
That's true. That is so true.
But I don't think it's gonna happen though. I think Houston gets them up out of here in the first round.
There we go in the chat. He said LeBron will cry if Steph gets another ring.
Oh boy, listen, he be trying to join him. You thought he be going down the interstate.
That'll be tough for him to it'll be tough for LeBron to swallow that one, right?
Man, LeBron would play to if Steph would get another ring, LeBron would play till he's 50.
Yeah. All right, play-in game for, in the West. We got who playing in the West after tonight? Is it Dallas and
Sacramento.
Yeah, Dallas and Sacramento. Who you liking in that game?
It's in Dallas. I'm gonna go with Dallas. I think Anthony Davis can have one good game. He can carry a team. So I'll go with Dallas.
Coach, who you liking, Coach?
Dallas.
And then they gonna have to play OKC. Whoever's what?
No. They have to play Memphis. Play Memphis for the 8.
For the 8.
They had to play for the 8 seed. Yeah. And I probably would go with Memphis winning that one.
Up right now, they don't know. Head coaches.
Oh, that's right. They fired their head coach too. Yeah, that's the other reason why this might be. I don't want to call it a cakewalk, but everything might fall in favor of the Lakers because Denver fired their coach, so they'll probably be up out of here soon. And then Memphis fired their coach, so you're gonna at playoff time, you're gonna get probably 2 teams that probably could have made a deep run with proper coaching, gonna be out in the first round.
All right, so this is the question. How much credit do we give J.J. Redick for winning 50 games in his first year with no coaching experience?
You got to tip his hat to him.
Yeah.
50 is 50.
Yeah, give or take.
Even if you don't want to give him credit for the 50 wins, you got to give him credit for adjusting when Luka came in, and also keeping those other young guys engaged. Because when Luka comes in, everybody now got to take a different level. So if you was that guy that might have been, the third guy. So Reeves is the third guy, right? But he was the second guy. Luka comes in, he got to drop. So whoever behind Reeves, they got to drop. So everybody's taking a step back when you bring Luka in. So for him to keep those guys engaged and to actually have probably one of the better defenses so far this year, you got to give him some credit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give him credit. Is he still a guy when it comes to X's and O's? I'm gonna leave that to still out there. We'll probably see it in the playoffs, but you also got to be able to manage egos and manage personalities or whatever. And he seemed to have done a good job at that.
Yeah, he is.
All right, with that being said, fellas, it is time for the SRT Fun Bag. And I see people jumping back on because they know it's time for the Fun Bag. Coach said we were going to suspend the Fun Bag for today, but I know he likes the Fun Bag, so here we go. You guys ready, fellas?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. First question is this. If you made a movie about your life, where would you have it? Where would you have people watch it? Streaming service or in the movie theater?
Theater.
You want yours in the theater, Coach?
Yes, sir. You got to pay to see. You got to pay big money to see me. Come on to the theater.
AMC. All right. AMC.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Popcorn and nachos. All right, Ace. So what you got?
I'm gonna do the streaming.
You gonna be on Netflix, Tubi, or Amazon Prime, or you going to the movie theater?
I hear you, Coach, but gotta pay big money to come see you. But I'm gonna chop it up, so I'm gonna make you come see me multiple times. So I'm going to the streaming service.
Going to the
I'm
streaming
gonna put a
service.
block on that. I'm gonna have it on showing one night only, so you won't be able to keep showing it.
Yeah, I think I'm with Ace. I'm going with the streaming service. I'm going with Netflix or Hulu. Yeah, whichever one paying the most.
Exactly. If it's Tubi, Joe, consider me one of these NIL deals. Whoever got the bigger bag, that's where I'm going.
Yeah. All right, I'm finna take y'all back on question 2. How long do you leave your honey bun in the microwave to warm it up?
Ooh.
30 minutes, 30 seconds.
30
That
seconds.
gonna be hard.
It'll be nice and juicy.
30 seconds, coach.
30 seconds? That's like a bird. Unless you got,
You ain't gonna be able
unless
to
you got,
hey, coach.
unless you got low voltage.
I say about 8 seconds for me.
I listen, and that's about the sweet spot, H.O. I'm about to say between 5 and 7. I just needed to get touched real quick.
Oh, look at go.
Coach, Coach got the honey bun on deck.
Texas theory right now.
Oh boy, hey, Cuz say 15 seconds. What is with all y'all double digit going into the microwave for so long?
They got Joe. They got the low voltage microwave. That just ain't kicking out enough power.
Yeah. He said 30 seconds. No, that's too long.
You do 8
right.
seconds. 8 seconds. Half gonna be hot. Half gonna be cold.
You cooking 30 seconds. You cooking rice.
Yeah. All right, question number 3: oatmeal or cereal?
Cereal easy, without a doubt. Man, oatmeal is terrible.
Cereal.
Cereal. Honeycombs or all berries for Captain Crunch.
Ooh, all berries.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, honeycomb.
I want all the sugar.
Trust me, all berries got all the sugar for sure. There's no crunching the Captain in that one. All right, this gonna be a good one. Now, this was actually sent in. When you was younger, okay. When you was younger, what food got you in trouble because you didn't want to eat and your parents made you eat it, and you either took the whooping, took the punishment, or you got grounded. You got grounded, took the whooping, or you had to go out and cut the grass. Which food got you in trouble when it came to that? And which punishment did you take because you didn't want to eat the food?
Oh no.
Squash.
Squash, yes. So when she tried to make you eat the squash, you just said, "Go ahead and give me the whooping. I'm not eating it."
I had to sit there. Until I ate it. It didn't matter how long I sat there. I sat there all night one time.
Oh wow, really? Go ahead, Coach. What
liver.
Yeah, liver for me too.
I ain't eat no liver. I'd already cranked the lawnmower up.
Yeah, look, I'm like, bro, just
liver tastes like shoe leather.
I agree, man. That's terrible.
Crazy thing about that, HO though. Now I'll eat squash, especially the fried casserole.
Mm-hmm.
I eat it like it's the best thing ever.
That's crazy. All right, 2 more. This gonna be good. You know I got to put a money question in here. You taking $7,500 every 2 weeks with no taxes taken out under the table, or $200,000 for the year with taxes taken out?
$7,500 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With no taxes.
No taxes. Under the table.
That's 26 payments.
Yep. $195.
I'm about to say that's what I'm taking.
Man, I don't even know. I don't like math, so I don't know which one.
I'm telling you right now. You want to take the 75 with no taxes.
Okay.
The 200. You said how much? What is the other one? HO?
Yeah, 200 annually with taxes.
Oh no. That means depending on if you got kids or not or whatever. I mean, you're coming home with about at best 160.
Well, tax is gonna be 37%.
So even less. So Yeah. Give me the-
So that's about 160 right there.
Yeah, what I say was So yeah, I'll give you that. Give me that 75.
You gotta worry about those CPA that you gotta try to. Hey man,
No. Yeah.
Cuz say he taking the 7,500 for sure.
Yep.
Coach, you taking the 7,500 because Asa told
Yes,
you.
sir. 7,500.
Oh, I ain't gonna lead you wrong, Coach. That's one thing I ain't gonna do now. I ain't gonna play with your money. You know what I mean? Take the 75.
Yeah, it is. All right, last question for the night, and let me go ahead and get this music crunk up. Is that it? No, that ain't it. There it is. Last question for the night. Who is the most famous contact you have in your phone? And exclude me.
Jerry Rice.
All right, Ace, who you got?
I'm gonna keep it local. Andre Dickens, the mayor.
Can't beat that. I'm going with a local famous, Walter Banks.
Okay.
Mr. Atlanta Braves himself.
So, yeah.
All right.
Well, we got it all covered though. We got sports, we got politics, we got it all. You know what I mean? We got it covered right here.
Yeah, there it is.
If I had a couple more, but they ain't acting right, or I had my guy used to be the chief of police in Clayton County.
Not Victor Hill, is it?
Yep.
Oh, I know why he ain't calling you back. All right, man. When you hear the music, you already know what time it is. It is time to get up out of here. I want to give a shout out to Coach Asa and D. Will for joining us tonight. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, new listeners and all. We so appreciate you tuning in to Sports Roundtable and SRT. As Hancock is continuing to do overtime at the job, he's probably not even home yet. But we're going to keep this thing rolling each and every week. And yes, sir, that's all I got. All right, Coach, what you got?
Oh, boy. I got shout out to my boys from the Red and Red Sports Show. Red of Armani. We on Saturdays from 11 until we get tired. Shout out to Ho for bringing me on again. Shout out to Asa Brown, the man from DNA Sports Talk downtown. Shout out to D. Will. Watch your back this weekend. It's Easter, but I'm trying to be nice. You can dog my boy Kareem, so you might want to turn your head on the stroke. Let you see it. Yeah, dog it. Yo, shiesty you.
Yeah, there it is. All right, Ace, what you got?
Hey, man, always one time to UHO and Coach and the SRT family. Appreciate having me on. Always have a good time. One time to D. Will. Hey, the Auburn and Alabama guys were getting along tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all broke that thing down, too.
And then one time to my other half, Don with DNA Sports Talk. You can catch us every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Just go to DNA Sports Talk on all social media, and you'll find the links.
All right, Cuz said came from the Yin Yang twin. Well, if he your cousin, he's my cousin too. I need to get him on the show.
You like that? Okay.
Yeah. Yin Yang. Okay, dokie. All right, man. That's gonna do it for Sports Roundtable, man. And we so appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. And we're gonna run them fun bag questions back each and every week until the Braves win the title, I guess.
There we go.
Yes, sir. With that being said, man, I'm your main man, H.O. from Bankhead. R.I.P. Moms and Pops and R.I.P. BC. From Coach Asa, Hancock, D. Will, and myself. This is Sports Roundtable and the SRT crew. We'll holler at y'all next week, and we out. Peace.
Peace.